So good afternoon, students. So in this class we are going to discuss about the Kerberos authentication protocol. So in authentication we have discussed many algorithms: the hash algorithm, MAC algorithm, the digital certificate, digital signatures being discussed. So on the digital certificate we have discussed X.509, and X.509 would be using the public key, and here we have one more protocol, that is the Kerberos. The Kerberos is an authentication protocol using the secret key. So as we know that the authentication is to give the access control for the user to access the resources, and authorization is, we have the, each user would be having their own profiles, and based on their profiles they would be having the functionalities would be limited or extended. So which user to use, what kind of functionalities, all those things comes under the authorization. And finally we have the auditing. Auditing is nothing but, we have the different kinds of the users, their functionalities and their work profiles, all those things have been there, and whether they have completed all those things or not. That's what it is called as the auditing. So whether the user profiles and their work natures both are same, that has been auditing. And Kerberos addresses all of these needs, and Kerberos is designed by Massachusetts Institute of Technology professors, and they have developed this one. And we have it is a secret key based service for providing an authentication in open networks, and it is mediated by trusted third party on the network, that we call them as the key distribution centers. So threats in a distributed environment. Distributed computing model would be having the client server model. The user through the client, they would be making the request to the server, and the server then responds. And what happens is that threats are nothing but, the user can gain access to a workstation and pretend to be another, and a user alters the network address of a workstation to impersonate another workstation, and a user eavesdrops, that is interferes with the communication, and identify what is the communication going on, that is called as the eavesdrops, and uses a replay to gain entrance or disrupt operations. So these are all the threats in the distributed environment, and this would be covered by means of the security approaches. And here we have each individual client workstation needs to assure the identity of its user or users, and rely on each server to enforce a security policy based on user identification. And it also requires that the client systems authenticate themselves to servers, but trust the client system concerning the identity of its user. And it also requires the user to prove his or her identity for each service invokes, and it requires the servers also prove their identity to the clients. So here we need to have some checkpoints are made to ensure that no stone gets upturned. And here we have the problem is, each of them has to share the identity at various points, and that will be verified. So the requirements for the Kerberos. So the requirements are to make a secure mechanism, reliable mechanism, transparent mechanism. It can also be scalable. It can, if needed, the users can be added or the services can be extended. That is the scalability. Implemented using the Needham-Schroeder protocol. So initially we discussed two types. First one is the simple protocol, and then we have the secure protocol. The simple protocol, first we have the client. The user through the client then makes the request to the authentication server. So the client C, the first one we have the client C makes a request to the authentication server, and here it gives its own identity, ID of the C, and the password between the client and the authentication server is also been given, and then the identity of the server is also been given. So V here refers to the server, and C here refers to the client. So client server mechanism, we have the client making a request to the authentication server, and the authentication server gives the ticket. And the ticket would be containing the ID of the client, the address of the client, and the ID of the server. All those things is been encrypted using the server's key, so that only the server alone can read the content, and nobody could read these contents. So this is the ticket, and this ticket is being sent by the authentication server, and the client then sends to the server its own identity and the ticket, and the ticket can be read, and its identity can be identified from the ticket, and it will be verified using this one also. So by that way verification is also possible. But here what happens is that, so this is what we have discussed, and so the C is the client, AS is the authentication server, and V is the server. So a third party is also been involved, but the problem here is that the authentication server creates a ticket that contains the user's ID and network address and the server's ID, and all those things has been given, and the problems are nothing but each ticket can be used only once, and the plain text transmission of the password that is given in the message 1. Second step, here we have the message 1. It has not been encrypted, the password is in the open. So once the password is known, it can even decrypt any other messages that has been meant for this client. So that is the problem in this case. So here it is more simple, but it is having some problems. So instead of that, then we go for a ticket granting server to be used to be in a secure authentication mechanism. So the secure authentication mechanism, here we have the ticket granting server is being used, and here it is more secure, and it will be having more communications. So initially it will be requesting a ticket granting ticket, and then we will be requesting a service granting ticket, and then the service would be enabled. So three kinds of things are there. The first one is ticket granting ticket, then we have the service granting ticket, then we have the service. So client first requests the authentication server with its own identity on behalf of the user, and then it also gives the identity of the ticket granting server. So it has been given to the authentication server, and the authentication server then gives the message that will be consisting of the ticket granting ticket that will be passed on to the ticket granting server. So by means of the ticket granting ticket, then the ticket granting server would be identifying that it is a valid message. This valid message is been given by the authentication server. Okay, so here we have the it has been encrypted by the key known to the client, and then the client receives this message, then it identifies the ticket granting server, and then it gives the ticket granting server its own identity, this identity of the server, and this ticket that has been produced by the authentication server. So the ticket granting server also gives the ticket that will be sent to the server, and this ticket would be consisting of, this is the ticket V, and it is nothing but it will be consisting of the identity of the client and the address of the client and the identity of the server. Then it also consists of the lifetime validity of the ticket. Okay, so this is also been added, so that it will be having this is also will be verified. So this is also used to verify whether this is valid or not. Okay. And if it is expired, then it cannot be used, otherwise it could be used. So the client then passes the service granting ticket to the server, and then it makes the service been completed. So again it will be giving its own identity, and from the ticket also then it will be identified, and the identity of the client is been identified, and then it will be compared with the identity of the client that has been given here, and by that way it will be knowing that the client is verified one, that is been verified by both the authentication server and the ticket granting server, and so finally it will be allowed for service. So that's what given here. The client requests the ticket granting ticket and gets the request been responded by means of the authentication server. The authentication server gives the ticket, then it has been passed on to the ticket granting server. Okay, and then it will be getting the ticket from the ticket granting server. The ticket granting server ticket has been then been forwarded to the server finally. So this is the overview. So first it requests the ticket granting ticket, then the ticket has been received plus the session key is also been given. Then it requests the service granting ticket, again the ticket has been received. So first the ticket has been given by this authentication server that authenticates the client to the ticket granting server. So then the ticket granting server authenticates the client to the server. So for that again the ticket has been given, and this ticket alone has been sent, and then finally it has been authenticated by means of the server. So the client server service then proceeds, and then finally that will be completed. So this is the overview of the Kerberos. So by this way it has been protected, and it has been verified at different points, and at different points the identity of the user, the client and the servers all been given, and it has been verified at various points, so that we have got a more secure mechanism than in the previous case. So this is the Kerberos model. Okay. So we could continue the authentication in the next classes.